Hello anyone, everyone, and no one. Welcome back to another Minecraft Bedrock Edition tutorial. Now today's tutorial is going to be over this right here. Now as the thumbnail and probably the video title said, this is a 1 million item bulk storage system. Now this system was originally designed by Cubfans on Java Edition. Now what I have done here is I have converted this thing over to work on Bedrock Edition. Now as I've said before in many of my other tutorials, my redstone is not always the most compact in the world. My redstone just gets things to work. Now that being said, this system here, I love this. I love this thing. This is one of those things that I feel is very vital to have in just about every world, because you can feed in all your farms. I don't know about you, but I always have tons upon tons of shulker boxes loaded down with items that just take up tons of room. You can't carry it all in your ender chest, and you need things to do with it. So how this thing here works, I'm just going to kind of give you a crash course here before we go into building this thing. Alright, so you got this, and how it works is items fill up on this side over here, and then of course when this side completely backfills, it starts to fill on this side. And this thing can hold, Shulkerbox wise, I think it's well over 1 million items, and that is crazy. I mean, that's a sheer crazy number of items. But just to give you an example here of how this works. Okay, say you're doing a project and say you need to craft up, let's just say you need to craft up some mossy stone, okay, mossy cobblestone, okay? So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to hover directly over this and I'm just going to queue it. I'm going to hit Q and it's just going to drop it straight down on the ground. And so that was my cobblestone. Now I'm going to do the same thing with my vines. And if we look right here, we got the cobble right here. So let's just say we just wanted to do a couple stacks here. That's all we needed. We punch this button right here. That goes out of the way. And look, right here's our vines. I mean, it's just that simple. So if we come over here and we find the mossy cobble here, well, I'm in creative, obviously. Hold on. So now we've got our cobble and everything. We can just simply craft that up. Say we had an empty shulker box that we wanted to put that back into, or say we're done with it. Say we've got another shulker box here that's holding up our cobble. So I just queued that out. It's going through the system. It's going to be over here behind this. So let's drop out the vines. Boom. We're done. We don't need the mossy cobble no more. Gone. Just like that. I love this system. I do. And you can reach every bit of this system from right here. You can reach your hoppers. You can reach your chests. If I can angle in here, you can reach the hoppers up there. Hopper, chest, you can get to everything here. So just by another example here, say we need to craft up some rockets. Okay, so we just dropped out our gunpowder and we dropped out our paper. So let's grab that. We're done with that. Break that. That goes back in, comes back around. It's going to end back up in storage over here. So we need a little bit of sugar cane. We got that. We're done with that. So let's go ahead and craft up some rockets here. And just like that, we're able to craft up rockets. I mean, and as you see, the items ended up back in here. And if you needed to, you can actually take these and go about, do your business, come back. You can manually put them back in here if you want, or you got this input chest here. So if we drop those in there, what happens is they go through the hoppers here. Let me get back into creative. Well, yeah, totally missed that. You totally missed that one, Slack. Hold on, let's try this again. Let's grab the cobble and let's grab the sugar cane. Okay, so we were out doing stuff and we needed both of those. They go back into the system. They get topped up to the top here. They come across. They end up in the hoppers. They bleed back down through the system and they end up right here. I mean, that's just it. Now these 4 indicator lights right here, each of them serves their own purpose. Okay, this one's to let you know that that's being activated. This one's letting you know that this is toggleable, either it's on or it's off. That one right there lets you know that this side of the system is completely full. That one right there lets you know that this side is completely full. Now when I mean the system is toggleable, let me try to give you an example here. So if I go to my inventory right now, I should have 2 shulker boxes with 21. Yes, 21 and 21. So I'm going to drop those down there and I'm going to flip this lever here. Now, when that light is off, the system is in auto break mode. So say you were out gathering up stuff and you manually were coming over here refilling and sorting stuff. And you're like, okay, I'm at my cobble box. I'm done here. As soon as that goes in there, auto breaks. Next one comes out. This is a auto. When it's full, it breaks and puts it back into the system here. And of course, you should be coming back into the system any moment there. Yes. I mean, say you got that again. Boom, gone. And if you do not want it in fill mode and auto break mode, you can just simply turn that off. I mean, I absolutely love this system. But as I said, let's get over there and let's get this started. Words! Let's get over there and let's get this started, shall we? Alright, here we are on Truly Bedrock. And as you can see here, prime example, I need one of these systems. I have got stuff just scattered everywhere. It is a pure disaster. I've got just chest upon chest of stuff. I need to sit down and spend a full good day organizing, and that's probably going to be today after I get this in. Alright, now what I'm going to need for this is pretty much as follows. Now this is not an exact number count. I didn't do an exact number count. I never tend to, because if I go to build a project I may adjust it and I never know what I'm going to need. But we're going to need observers, hoppers, comparators, repeaters, redstone dust, dropper, dispenser, chests, at least a lever. Gonna need a button that I don't have here, some building blocks, some soul stand, redstone dust, some blue ice, and if I'm remembering correctly, I should have some regular ice here. Yep, gonna need that for the water source. That should just about cover the gist of this thing. Now, I really like to chunk align most of my builds in Minecraft. Now, if you do not know how to find your chunks, I have a texture pack that will be down in the video description as well, and I also have a tutorial in case you don't want to do it that way. But speaking of that, I know for a fact that these 4 blocks right here are the center of this chunk. So what I'm going to do is I need this to be elevated up out of the ground just a little bit, so I'm going to start right here. These are going to be my main 4 hoppers right in the middle of this thing. So what I'm going to start off doing is I'm going to come over 1, 2, 3, 4 blocks this way, and I'm going to fill these up with solid blocks here. And my water column, bubble, elevator, whatever you want to call it, is going to go right here. I already know this. So now I'm going to bust out these right here, and we're going to go ahead and get a auto dropper set up for this thing. Now what an auto dropper is pretty much exactly what it sounds like. Anytime that it detects that there is an item in this dropper, it's going to automatically fire it off. And to do this, it's really simple here. We're going to add in a comparator, we're going to add in a repeater, we're going to bring around some redstone dust back into this comparator, because we want this, when this pumps out a signal, that's going to be a full strength signal, and of course as the signal goes down it degrades, it gets weaker, it's going to come back in here, it's going to be like, oh, let's do this again. Anyways, from there we're going to add in some more redstone dust, add in a repeater right here, and a solid block here. Now this is going to be, as I said, where our bubble column is, taking and dropping items into the system. So if I simply just let's just throw some of this in here just as an example. As you can see, as items enter this full shulker boxes, the items are going to be pumped right back up out of it. You, come here, quit, stop, okay. Now from here, we need to add in our input chest. So we are going to put a hopper right there, coming over, and then we're going to go up 1 additional hopper. And this is going to be where our input chest is, where we're going to manually put shulker boxes back into the system if we need to. So this right here, this hopper here, is actually going to be floor level. So right there, that's eventually going to be where we're going to walk up to. Now knowing that, you may want to adjust this system accordingly, but as I said, my base, my way, my things, my reasons. Logic is not always a thing that I can explain very well. Alright, so now that we've got that in place, the next step that we want to add in is we're going to go ahead and want to input in our second dropper system. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come back from these 4 blocks right here, 2 more blocks, and I'm going to go ahead and build this whole layer up 1. And because I'm going to need a way up and down, let's go ahead and add that in there. Now from the back right here, I'm going to put in my other, nope, not the dispenser, we're going to put in another dropper right there. Now from here we're going to grab out our hoppers, we're going to put a hopper into that, over to here, here, all the way up here to the front. Right here we're going to put a hopper going into there, we're going to come around here to the side, hopper going into that hopper, and hopper going into that hopper there. Now let's go ahead and get this where we can get back up there. So now when you're standing out here, anything that you queue over is going to all get dropped and fed into this dropper right here. So now what we need to do is add another one of these systems right here. So we're going to come out 3 blocks wide and 3 blocks deep, and we're going to go ahead and come up here and add an auto dropper in here. So it's pretty much the same thing. Let's go ahead and grab our comparators, let's grab our repeater, and we've got our redstone dust. So we're going to put a comparator there, repeater, redstone dust feeding back into that comparator, dust, repeater, going into block right there. And this works just the same as the other. Item comes in, item spit out. Boom, bam, done. Now we've got the auto dropper in there. We've got the auto dropper in there. Let's go ahead and get our chests out of the way for storage here. So what we are going to do is we are going to fill in those blocks right there. We're going to grab out our chest here, and we're going to put our first chest right there. And a set of chests right... You're in the wrong place. Why are you in the wrong place? Oh, I see what I've done here. Yep, we need to adjust this. We need to take this out and that out right there. Go ahead and remove that because that was in the wrong spot. My bad, people. My bad. Accidents happen. So let's go ahead and pull a hopper right there. That's going to pull everything into that. And then from here, let's add a hopper back in there. And let's put one right there. Alright, so this is our corrected input chest spot. My bad. Accidents happen. That way we get this extra spot here if we're standing where this chest right here is going to go. That everything's still going to feed in over there. Now, as I said, we're going to go ahead and put in our storage system of chests. So we've got our chests in here. So simply from here, we need to go up. Go ahead and come up one more. Add in this one. Add in this one right here. Come over here and add in this one right here. And just like that, we have 5 stacks of chests. Now we want to duplicate this on the other side. So what we're going to do is we're going to come up, add another chest there. Please go there. No, you went in the wrong spot. You, please break. Please go away. Thank you. And now you're going to come up there. Yep. See? Okay. So that works as intended. So we're going to keep adding in here. So this is our 3rd set, our 4th set, and then we come around here and this is our 5th set of chests. From here, while we're already up here, let's go ahead and grab out our hoppers. Come here, hopper. And we're going to put a hopper going right into that chest right there with another one on top of it. And if you want to, go ahead and jump over here to this side, put a hopper going into that chest and right there. And then from here, you can just simply jump down here and walk hoppers going into each of these just like so. So anytime an item comes in, it's going to go to that chest, down, 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 and we need to go ahead and put one right there. So the items work their way all the way down. Now you simply come around here to the other side and you just carry the same pattern. Hopper going into every one of those chests. That way items will bleed all the way down when they get put into the system. Now from here, let's go ahead and get our dispenser in place of where our shulker boxes are going to come out so that we can unload from them. So what we need to do now is we need to grab some building blocks here, and our dispenser is going to go right there. So from here we need to have the hoppers underneath, which will get back into our dropper system to replace items into the system. So a hopper going in there, hopper into there, hopper into there, and we can just block that off right there for now. We come back around here to the front and we need to grab out our hopper here, hopper into the dispenser, hopper into the hopper, and a hopper directly over this dropper. So now when an item gets dropped into here, let's just do this as an example. It's going to come up, it's going to hit there, it's going to come over here, it's going to end up in the dropper here. See? Boom, bam, that easy. Next, we need to set up the system to get this to auto fire the item out. So what we're going to need to grab now is we're going to need to keep some building blocks on us, and we're going to need to grab our observers. And what we're going to do is we're going to come over here and we're going to need a temporary building block here. Can I have a block? Yes, there we go. And we're going to put an observer looking down at that redstone dust right there. Now from here, we're going to put an observer looking at that observer. And then from here, we're just going to make a mess of things that we're going to have to tear down later, but that's okay. We're going to have observers watching those observers until it gets all the way over here, and we're going to put a block right here. So now, when this auto dropper kicks off, this observer is going to see the redstone change, and it's going to send the signal all the way through here. And by the time the said item comes up, comes over, it's going to get dispensed out. So let's grab a shulker box to see if this system is actually working at this point in time. So if we grab this one right here with the ice, we come over here and we drop it in and queue it up into the system. It should hit this dropper, auto fire, boom, just like that. Now if we break this thing manually because we have no system in place, you just went back to the wrong spot because I do not have a solid block in here yet. So we're going to put that there and we're going to put that there because we do not need them in our way. So now if I break this, I'm pretending that the system is completely built. You should end up right there. Great. So once we get the water stream in place here in just a little bit, it will automatically go back into the system. Now that we've got everything in place up to that point, we need to go ahead and get our braking system in, which is going to lead me to realize that I totally left an ingredient out of this list. We are going to need sticky piston. So I've got our sticky piston here. So what are we going to do and how are we going to get this thing in place? Well, it's not going to be that crazy, but we need to do a couple things first. First, we need to put a couple temporary blocks in. Then we need to put, you please go up there, and there. So we need to get our observer that's going to be right here to power this thing when we manually break the system. So let's grab our observers. Come here, pick block that observer for me. So we're going to put a temporary block right there. Lost my observer. Come here, pick block you again. And I got that one right there. Now from here, let's go ahead and remove that. And let's grab out our sticky piston. Our sticky piston is going to go right there. And do we have our sea lantern on us? This can be anything you want. I like to use a light source. So now we've got our sea lantern right there. So the next thing we need to do on the list, go ahead and grab up another observer here. Come look directly at that piston and put that in there. Now we don't need that, we don't need that, and we don't need that right there. I say this hoping I'm correct. Now from here, let's go ahead and fill in this area here. We're going to get a nice ring around this thing for where we're going to put redstone in just a moment. But we do need to add in something else real quick right here. So what we're going to do is we're going to throw in another block right there. And we need two other things here. We need a block right there, and we need a crafting table to go right here. So let's jump down here and find a crafting table. And I'm just going to steal that one right there for now. So I'm going to come back over here, and I'm going to put this crafting table right here. And just for the sake of it, I want to fill that area in right there. So that's just a nice compacted area right now. From here, let's go ahead and not grab a button that I do not have. Man, I am just so organized for this right now. Now that we've got that in place, let's go ahead and put a button right there. And let's go ahead and grab a lever and put it right here. Now this now powers that, and of course the next one would dispense after the fact. So from here, we've got our auto breaker in, and we've got this lever here that is not doing nothing. So let's jump around here to the back. And of course, by jumping around here to the back, I mean I'm going to have to figure out a way to get back here, because that is the fun part about doing stuff in survival that nobody ever tells you about right there. Alright, so from here, we've now got our lever in place here, so we do not need this block. That was placed totally in the wrong spot. Let's go ahead and grab our repeaters. Let's go ahead and grab some redstone. We're going to go ahead and wire up this system right here for auto braking. So what we're going to do is we're going to put a repeater right here. We're going to put that going into a block, into redstone dust, which is going to go into another repeater that I've magically lost. Let's get back out this repeater right here. We're going to go ahead and just throw that into some more dust. You do not need to be on 2 ticks. From here, we're going to put this into a repeater that is on 2 ticks. And of course, I fall. And then we're going to add in a repeater right there facing into this piston. Now the whole point is that when this is flipped on, this locks this repeater. And you might be wondering, what is the point of that? The point of that is for the next circuit that we're going to add in for the auto braking. Now the auto braking circuit is going to be placed in right here. So we're going to put a block right there. We're going to grab a comparator, and we're going to put that comparator right there. Now as odd as this looks, when there is a shulkerbox right there, it will put out a signal through that block, as you just seen there, and spit that block out. So what we need to do is when it detects that there is a full shulkerbox there, that it breaks it. So now that we know that that will read a signal through there, we need a way for this system to know when to break. So we're going to add in a block there, we're going to add in a block there, we do not need that one down there, so you can remove it. And we're going to put a comparator right there, and then we need another lever right here. And we're going to power that. So that's going to be putting out a full strength signal, but when this signal gets stronger, it is in turn going to come up. It is going to power this redstone dust right here and this here. So now, when a shulker box is on the other side of that block that has been spit out by that dispenser, and it reaches full capacity, it will now power and break as long as this is turned off. Redstone can be very confusing to explain. I am trying my best to explain this in a way that you understand. So, the majority of the time, most people are not even ever going to use this circuit. This thing will just stay in that state right there. Most of us are never going to use the auto breaker. I pretty much never use it. This is a manual system for me 99.9% of the time. But the option is there for you if you want to use it the other way. Now at this point, this system is almost done. We need to craft up a few redstone lamps, which I do not have to craft because I actually have them here. And we need to put a redstone lamp right there, right there, right there, and right there. These are going to be our indicators. Now of course this one's going to light up when that one's like that. When this is lit up here, the system is in the mode that it does not auto break. And of course we need to add in the redstone for these two right here, and we might as well go ahead and do that now. So what we're going to need to do now is we're going to need to get up there. Fun. So let's go ahead and make another mess around here of things we're going to have to clean up after the fact. Now up here, this is where we're going to need something that I just left all the way back down there. Man, things are difficult. Things are difficult. While you're down here, if you did what I did, go ahead and gather up most of the other stuff you're going to need. You're going to need your blue ice, you're going to need your ice or water, whatever you want to use. We're going to go ahead and gather up our glass because I haven't got none of that on me yet. We got our soul sand here. I think that's just about everything. So let's get right back up top once again. Alright, so here we are back up top. Let's go ahead and grab our blue ice here. Now I'm opting for blue ice because blue ice is, well, very slick, and we need the stuff that comes up. If it does not go into this, we need to make sure that it kind of moves along and gets over here to the other side. So we're putting in 2 pieces of blue ice directly above these 2 redstone lamps here. While we're here, let's go ahead and put in a piece of glass there and a piece of glass there. That way these chests can still be open from down on the ground because the glass is a transparent block. So from here, let's jump around here, let's grab our building blocks, and let's build out a little platform going around these chests right here. And let's add in one right over here as well. Now, we're pretty much ready to put the redstone in for our detectors to determine if this side is full or not. So what we're going to need to do is we're going to need to grab a comparator. We're going to put a comparator right there. We're going to have that going into a block, which in turn needs to come out, go into this repeater right here, into a block, into a repeater right here. And we're going to do the same thing on the other side. So let's grab our comparator. We're going to put a comparator right there, block, repeater, block, and repeater. Now, when an item passes through this, and or this system is completely backed up, this thing is full of shulkers. This will power this comparator because this comparator will see that there's something in there, which in turn powers the block, repeater, block, which in turn will power this redstone lamp right here. So just by a quick example here, let's just throw those in there. And as you can see, as items are bleeding down through here, that light's on. So stuff's going into the system. Now, if that was shulker boxes and this whole side was full, that would stay on. Same for this side. When this side gets completely filled, that light right there is going to come on. And this thing is just about done. But how do I put this, and how do I put this cleanly and plainly and simple? There's a mistake. This is the problem I have with tutorials and people doing them in creative. They can just edit it out. Real world practical builds of these things are a lot different. You're going to run into errors, and I've run into an error here. And let me try to show you what the error is and how we're going to fix it real quick. So if we put this block here, we're at the point now where it's time to put the water stream in. This thing is more or less done. But here's where the issue is going to come in that I have done. If I put my soul sand in here and I grab my glass and I start glassing this up, I got a problem. I've built this in the wrong spot. So if you've been following this tutorial, I'm sorry, you just built this in the wrong spot too, and we got to adjust a little bit. But this is not a major, oh my god, it's the end of the world thing. We can fix this really, really quick. So what we're going to do is we're going to come over here and we're going to move this all over one block. So we're going to grab another hopper. We're going to go ahead and just break all this right here. I'm sorry, it happens. I would not want to lie to you and just try to cover it up and be like, oh yeah, it works great. I made a mistake. Accidents happen. Accidents happen. So I've got all that tore out. What I need to do is move this whole system over by one right here. So right here is where our dropper was. Right here is where our dropper is going to be now. So let's go ahead and fill this area right here back in. I've moved it all over by one. And what we're going to do is we're going to find our dropper that I have got buried in my inventory here. We're going to move it over by one to get it away from that. So here, we've moved the dropper right here. And of course, I did not dig out enough room because this is exactly what happens. So let's put that there. Let's go ahead and make all this nice and as neat as we can. Let's go ahead and grab our comparators. Let's go ahead and grab our repeaters and let's fix this. So comparator, repeater, redstone dust, redstone dust into repeater, into a block, grab our hoppers, hopper into there, hopper into there. Now everything else is perfectly in the right place. That was just one thing that was off. So let's grab our soul sand and let's grab our glass. From here we're going to put a piece of soul sand right there. Glass, come on, please go. You don't want to go there. Alright, so let's do this the hard way and get glass in right there and glass right there. Now what we're going to do is we're going to totally come up through here. The problem with where I had that located was when you go to fill this with water, you're going to flood the redstone. And we don't exactly want to flood the redstone here. So let's go ahead and get this built up to here. We're going to add in a piece of glass there. We're going to go ahead and bring this all the way around, and we're going to go ahead and bring glass or blocks across the front, whatever you want it to be. I'm going to use glass because I like to see what is going on inside of stuff most of the time. And we're just going to simply wrap this around this way, pull it around here, and we're going to go ahead and glass right on top of all of this. This is going to keep our water nice and in place here. So what we need to do now, we need to go ahead and put that right there. Let's go ahead and put a block right there. I'm just going to use glass because I'm about to break it and destroy it. We're going to put ice right there. We're going to break this. As you can see, the water now goes all the way over here. And all we got to do now is break that. Water's going to go down, hit the soul sand. We start to see bubbles. Let's put glass right there. So now when an item comes up that, it's going to bounce off that, come over, and go into the system. This thing pretty much done. It's now time to decorate this. So give me a minute to get this cleaned up and we'll do a little bit of a demonstration. And if we take a look around here, I think that has just about got all this area cleaned up. I think I've got all the shulker boxes sorted out that I'm going to at this moment in time. Some random chests over there I still got to go through. And here is the final product here. And I like it. I may do some more adjusting. Of course, I haven't brought this all around yet. I think I want to put a middle column in here. There's a lot more that I want to do to this, but it's functional. And I can simply pipe up any of my farms or down any of my farms that I build directly into this system. So it's like I'm going to put inside this witch hut leg here that hasn't been finished a bubble column leading stuff up from my quarry down below. And all I have to do is tie it directly into this hopper right here. And it'll feed everything into the system. And if we take a look up here, I really like it. I put some carpet over the hoppers to hide all of them. And of course, this is where I'm at right now. I mean, I've just got a bunch of things in here. So say I needed to look through some armor, say I needed some dye, say I needed some smooth stone, I can just cue them out. If I needed something out of here, say I needed a spare elytra, I grab that, break it, goes back into the system. Be like, nope, I don't need the smooth stone. I changed my mind, but I do need some light gray dye. It's that simple. Everything gets broke, everything gets put back into the system. We take a look here, there's one, there's my tools, where's the other one? Right there. I mean, that's great, it's great. It works out really nice, and it's a bit on the bulky side, but at the same time, it works. It's vital, and I can get a lot of use out of this thing. Because, yeah, I think farms are coming here soon. Farms are coming. But I think that's just about where I'm going to wrap up this tutorial. So if you enjoyed today's tutorial, make sure to drop a like. If you'd like to see more, please subscribe, and I will catch you next time. Goodbye!